Jed, this looks familiar. What are we looking at?
Well, that is the beam pocket buck.
Beam pocket buck. So if you remember, when we did our earlier segment in the foundation, this was sitting up in there, okay? It was actually poured into the concrete, and the whole idea, Jet, was to create a
pocket.
Beam pocket, exactly. So this was a really important piece. Poured in, gets knocked out, framers come in, insert the beam pocket in there, so it's actually sitting on top of the concrete, okay? So supporting, again, the majority of the weight of your home inside the concrete, and another example of how wood and concrete mix together.
What we have here is what I like to call a TJI, or a truss joist I-beam.
Let me show you an example of what we're talking about here. So what these are, okay, these are your floor joists, okay? What are some of the challenges around with the old dimensional lumber versus these?
Right, so with the old dimensional lumber, they're not all even, right? They've got some bows, they got some different movement to them, right? They're not all the same.
What about weight?
They're real heavy too.
Exactly. So two key advantages with these from a quality perspective. One, every one is the same. They're all uniform in terms of size, so you don't get humps and deviations in your flooring when your flooring goes on top of this. The other thing here is, feel the advantage of that. Right?
That's really light.
Extremely lightweight. So the big advantage of the TGI is that you get the strength, you get the uniformity in size, so the framers love them. Everyone's the same, and they also love them because they're not busting their back and they're trying to drop one in place. They're very, very light, but it gives actually enough strength to support the weight of the floor. Okay, now another technology that we have, the main beam of the house, okay, these are called LVLs. Laminated veneer lumber. So if you look at this, it's layers of plywood that are laminated together to create an uber strong material, okay, in your beam. And then your main beam of your house, if you take a look up here, is actually a series of 4 or 5 of these laminated together based on what the engineers dictated to be the requirement to support the weight of the house. So again, very strong, very uniform in terms of size, much lighter weight than typical dimensional lumber. It's better, it's stronger, and it's more uniform in size, so the building is easier. Jet, what are these little chunks of 2x6 that we see going up?
Those are called squash blocks.
Jet, when you look at how it's supporting up in here, you've got your TJIs up here. What is the difference, or want to say one of the disadvantages of the TJIs versus old dimensional lumber that used to be there running across?
Right, so with the modern beams that they're using, the compactual strength isn't as good.
Right on. So that's the reality of it. So the TGIs, they're great for the amount of strength that they need, but they don't have the compressive strength that solid lumber would have. So in this case here, you have these squash blocks, and the whole idea with the squash block is that it translates you've got a wall above there, above the floor, okay? It translates that weight directly down to that beam, okay? And the term squash block, of course, to prevent squashing. Today's homes are very complicated. Real estate can be a very complicated issue. Our job, Jet?
Well, let's give you the proper expertise and knowledge.
That's what it's all about. Real solutions for today's real estate market. Putting the real in real estate. I'm Brian Sear.
And I'm Jeff Poliquin.
Thanks a lot for watching.